Hi there, I'm Cailen Ascher, and these are the Clarity Confessions. Every show, I sit down with top female entrepreneurs and get them to confess their best and most inspiring secrets for creating soulfully expansive success on their terms. If you're ready for a heaping dose of clarity, inspiration, and feel-good strategies to move you forward in life and business, get ready. It's time for our next confession. On today's show, I am so very honored to have my dear friend, Jordana Jaffe. Jordana teaches entrepreneurs who are introverts or homebodies how to create their own super engaged Facebook group and successfully participate in other groups so they can grow their online community and get clients while staying at home in their cozy PJs, which sounds absolutely fantastic. I am in my yoga pants right now, so I'm totally on board with this. So Jordana, thank you so much for making the time to be here today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So I'd love to just get started with just a little more on your background. How did you get started on this entrepreneurial path? I know I've heard your story. Mine kind of parallels it with just like this serial entrepreneurship, but I think it would be interesting for people to hear.
Sure, yeah. So I've been an entrepreneur for 9.5 years. I started my first business. It was a professional organizing company when I was 24 years old. And it basically just started because I was having, I guess, looking back, the quarter life crisis and really unsure about what my next steps were. And I came to a place where I realized that I really liked organizing, but I also simultaneously realized that I had no idea how to start a business. That said, I realized that the fear and potential overwhelm when it came to starting a business was less than the fear and potential overwhelm of continuing to feel lost and unsure about my next steps professionally and whatnot. So I kind of just went for it.
I think that's the right thing to do, though. You know, you trusted your instincts and you went for it. And obviously you've hung in there. 9.5 years later, you're still around. So it's working out.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. So I want to kick things off with the clarity confession questions. So some rapid fire stuff to break the ice, and then we'll move into conversation.
Sure.
So we'll get started with, when did you get clarity about your current business?
I got clarity about my current business when I got feedback from people that was what they really wanted to learn more about.
Yeah, isn't that the best, when you just listen to what people want from you and then create it for them?
Yeah. That I feel like the most recent iteration of my entrepreneurial journey is very much a situation where it chose me versus me having chose it.
Describe your business in 10 words or less.
Facebook group strategist for Netflix junkies.
Why do you love your work?
Because I get to help people hanging out on my couch.
Yeah, and watching Netflix.
Exactly.
So what makes you feel the most successful?
When I feel accomplished and productive.
Those are good feelings.
Yeah, those are good feelings.
What personal practices or self-care do you make time for regularly?
I meditate twice a day. I get lots of sleep. I go to bar class pretty regularly. I take walks outside with my pup, and I love to cook.
That's all good stuff. So what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur?
Being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
And then what is the hardest thing then about being an entrepreneur?
Probably, ironically, staying focused and productive.
Yeah. I know, so many ideas come, right? It's just
Yeah, and when you have so much fluidity in your day, even though that's such a blessing, it can also be something to grapple with, since you have so much fluidity in your day.
Exactly. And lastly, final question for this the rapid fire round. What is one word that sums up your business mission?
Coziness.
That was my guess, that was going to be your word.
That's my word.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You know that Leona, my daughter, she loves being cozy. She's all about, wrapping yourself in blankets and curling up on the couch. So that's probably her word too.
Yeah, I love that. It's the best. And she's like a fall baby, so she totally should be a cozy baby.
She is.
So let's talk about, what did your first year in business look like? And I guess we'll focus on obviously your current business, not going all the way back to the first business.
Yeah, the first year as a Facebook group strategist was exciting. I mean, it was a big adrenaline rush. I mean, I think that the first part of it, and I'm sure this will resonate a lot with you, with a lot of clarity, right? Mm-hmm. It was about, well, what exactly am I doing? What exactly am I teaching? What exactly am I offering? And then it was a lot of trial and error and a lot of experimenting and a lot of, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like this? Do you like that? And when I say do you, it's not do I, it's do the people who I'm supporting, do they like it? Mm-hmm. But it was a rush. I think that it all started in 2015, and I call 2015 the year of the Facebook group, because I feel like that was really when Facebook groups started escalating as a business strategy. So I think people were just really pumped about it, about a new way. So people were pumped about it. There wasn't so much cynicism and skepticism and all this stuff and just like critics around it. I think people were just really excited about a new platform. I was excited to teach it. I was excited that it was a new platform for me and my business. I was excited for people that it was a platform for their businesses. So I mean, there was a big adrenaline rush. So I would say the first few months were researching, clarity seeking, whatnot. Then it was a lot of experimentation, and I offered a bunch of free programs. Then there was a few months of offering paid programs, which was a super rush because I hadn't offered such low cost programs before in a really long time. And then what basically happened, so that carries us through, I guess, November, and then basically December and January, I just felt like totally burnt out.
Yeah, you gave it your all, and then it was like, I need to pause and breathe.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that it was a lot of ups and downs and emotions in the first year.
Yeah. So you started your group that year, and you started this business at the same time?
So I started the group in October 2014.
Okay, so just before.
Yeah, because we didn't start it as a business strategy. I think that's what I mean when it found me. I started it as just kind of a community collector in a way, and a community connection platform to connect with other people and to connect people with each other. Mm-hmm. And then towards the end of the year, people started saying, how did you do this? I want to do this too. And then in the beginning of 2015, I started realizing that other people were starting Facebook groups too, and they wanted to learn how to optimize participation and engagement and growth and all that stuff. And that's what I mean in terms of it having chosen me.
Cool. So you started your group in the fall of 2014, and as of today, and we're taping this in August, how many people are in your group now?
We have over 11,000.
Oh my gosh, that's remarkable. So if anyone out there is looking to grow a Facebook community, like, Jordana's really the girl you need to listen to, because she has done a remarkable job of it. So, talking about creating those paid programs and just gaining some traction there, what was, we always hear about the stuff that works, but like, was there something that you put together, whether free or paid, that like totally flopped, that you realized, oh my gosh, this is totally not the direction to go in with this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that I gauge people's interest a lot. So when I'm thinking about creating programs, I think about, okay, what do I want to create? And then I see people are interested in it. And then it'll either move forward or it won't. So there are lots of other programs in the interim that I thought about. I thought about doing something that was called the Sisterhood Connection, which is about creating basically small or smaller knit mastermind groups for women entrepreneurs to connect with each other, things that I truly believe in, but it just didn't manifest itself. And something else I looked into that I really thought I was going to move forward with was something called the Magical Business Accountability, which was all about having a Facebook group that was solely accountability based, right? So it was going to be just about checking into the Facebook group, saying what you were doing for that hour, and then getting it done. So those are things that I still might do maybe sometime in the future. But yeah, I mean, I have ideas all the time that go as far as gauging interest. I'll like map things out, and then for one reason or another, they just don't really come to fruition at the time.
Yeah, I think, and for you, it's so nice that you have this active community online that you can just quickly like throw an idea out to and be like, yay or nay, guys, what do you think? And get that instant feedback. I think so many entrepreneurs forget that step. They get really excited about an idea, they create it, and then they put it out to their community, and they're wondering why it's not received the way they were anticipating. But they didn't do the check-in. They didn't touch base and find if they really wanted it.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah. So what currently are you like totally loving in your business? Like, what are you most proud of right at the moment?
I'm really proud of our Facebook group. I'm really proud of the lifestyle that I've been able to give to myself. I'm really proud that Jenna and I moved to the suburbs 2 years ago, because it just allowed so much spaciousness and breadth into our businesses. I'm really proud of, as frustrating as it is at times, giving myself the time and space to really figure out my next steps. I'm really proud of planning in advance, but not doing things just because I think that they're going to work, waiting to make sure that they feel good as well.
Yeah. No, being patient and waiting is a hard thing to do sometimes when you're an entrepreneur. You just want to see that like instant manifestation of it playing out, but it's really fun. And I know you appreciate it too, that journey and getting there of taking your time and appreciating every step as it unfolds. So what would your advice be for other entrepreneurial introverts who are listening to the show today?
My advice would be to first, I feel like it's like disclaimer, cliche city approaching. But like there's truth in them, right? So I guess my advice would be, first and foremost, really check in with yourself and ask yourself, what do you want? Because look, introvert or not introvert, I think that the gift of entrepreneurship is twofold. Number one, if maximized and optimized, right? So number one, it allows you to support people the way you want to support them. And number two, it allows you to live the way you want to live while supporting people the way you want to support them. So I think, in this, interestingly enough, this is just coincidental, it really goes back to clarity. There's this part that really just requires you to step back before anything else and ask yourself, what does my ideal lifestyle look like? How does it feel? It look like? What do my days look like? What am I doing? What am I not doing? And that, no one can answer that except for you, right? And because my answer might look wildly different than somebody else's, and vice versa. And then secondly, how do you want to support people? What do you want to teach them? How do you want to teach them? Do you want to do private coaching? Do you want to not do private coaching? Do you want to do courses? And I think that it's tricky because amidst all the noise of Facebook groups and Instagrams, all these social media platforms, which in many ways are such a gift, they're also this Times Square. And you can get really lost in the shuffle of just these noises and opinions and do this and do that. So I think that to take a step back and say, wait a minute, what do I want my lifestyle to look like? Do I really want to travel around the world, or do I not want to? And like, wait, how do I really want to support people? Do I really want to be, doing webinars, or do I not want to do webinars? Even though I know that webinars might be successful for some people. So I think that these are the first questions you really need to ask yourself, because being honest with yourself and having true answers for yourself will then make the biggest difference as you take action moving forward.
Yeah, I totally agree. I start with all my clients there. We define the clear vision. It's like, what does, because we throw around this word success. Everyone's like, I want to be successful in my business. I'm like, what does that look like for you? Your version of success is totally different than mine, and that's okay. It's different. And defining that clear vision and having a sense of where you're heading and what it looks like can help you every step along the way, because it helps you define what you do want to be doing, what you don't want to be doing, and what's in alignment and what's out of alignment. And it gives you, once you know where you're going, you can kind of figure out the map to get there. And so I like that. That's a great starting place to define for yourself what you're really wanting. Like, why do you want to create this business, and what kind of business do you want to create? And then and allow the answers to come. It's not necessarily something you can sit down and in 15 minutes figure out.
Exactly. Nor should you expect that.
No. You might need to take a little time and get your hands in it a little bit as you're figuring it out. But that inquiry process always brings clarity, for sure. So I'd love to hear from you, and this can go back, before this business. They always say hindsight is 20/20. Looking back, do you have a sense of what was an obstacle that was in your way earlier on that was keeping you from your version of success, if you feel like there was one?
So many. I think something that would come to mind would be that and I think a lot of us do this, I felt like I needed to build my business a certain way, right? Like I felt like it's kind of like, in a way, weight loss. There's so many diets out there. There's so many exercise plans, and there's some that might work, there's some might not work. But when you work with a coach, when you study from a set amount of people or a certain amount of people, and more or less people are saying similar things, you think that there's only one way to get in shape, one way to lose weight, one way to make money. And when you don't know better, you don't know better. So you just kind of follow, and then a lot of things will come from it, So my first 100K year, which no one should hear anything beyond the fact that I made 100K, which isn't anything to sneeze at, but I also spent a lot of money to make that money, was cool in many ways because, I could say I did it, but also really jolting because I had spent a lot of money doing it, and it wasn't necessarily the way that I wanted to do it moving forward. Yeah. So I think that's what I would probably say.
Yeah, to find the business model that really resonates, that feels good. And I think so many people say when they're starting on this entrepreneurial path, I want to have a lifestyle that I love. And then they get into it and they're realizing they're just trading time for money, essentially. And they're totally, burning themselves out because they just need to work more and work more to make more, and to really think about what are the best ways for me to leverage my time and my efforts and make the money I want to be making, but also in support of the lifestyle I want to be living. So maybe it's not pushing myself to make that 6-figure year right out of the gate, but pausing a little bit and being more strategic in my efforts and thinking about, well, I really want Fridays off and I'm willing to trade making a little money, extra money, for this lifestyle choice, and to realize, again, going back to that personal version of success and what that looks like for you.
Yes, and to also know, I just want to add to that, and to also know that might change.
Yes.
I think sometimes I know I've come to places where I'll come and decide, okay, I definitely want to do this, and then I find such security in that anchoring, and I want to hold tight to it, but then I also need to be flexible with the fact that might not be my forever anchoring. I just want to change.
And nor would you want it to be, probably. But I have the same experience. It's like, I feel so good that I figured this out and I have clarity around this thing, and I just want to sit here forever. And then, in a couple months or in 6 months or a year, however long, you realize that things need to evolve, and you need them to, because we're evolving beings and we're growing and we're expanding, and the business that we have now shouldn't be the business we have in 5 years. We want it to be bigger and better, and to allow that to happen.
Yes, indeed.
So I'd love to finish up with this question. What are you most excited about right now?
I'm most excited. Well, I'm excited about a bunch of things. Jenna and I are expecting a baby boy, so that's really exciting. That's the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to continue leaning into building a business that allows me to do what I want when I want to do it, which really, it's a new navigation for me of being able to create a business where the people I'm supporting really feel supported, where I'm able to offer low price programs, and that simultaneously all of this still allows me to live in a space where I feel financially cozy.
Those are all such good things. And I know you have some awesome things in the works to make that happen for you. So just before we close out, where can people find you and connect with you? Yeah,
so you're welcome to join our free Facebook group. It as Cailen said, as of August 2016, it has over 11,000 women entrepreneurs in it. And you can just go to bit.ly/you are magical. And as an added incentive to stop by, if you then go to the file section and you search for this file, it says 14-day Facebook group course or 14-day Facebook course. It's a 14-day free Facebook course on how to get clients on Facebook without leaving your house or spending a dime. So you're welcome to join us there. And then also you're welcome to hang out on my virtual home, my website, which is jordanajaffe.com. And I have another free guide on Facebook groups that you can pick up there as well.
Fantastic. And Jordana, everything you put together is such high quality. I love everything you put out there with regard to Facebook groups. I find them so very valuable and have used so many of your strategies in my own group. So I really recommend to everyone out there, take advantage of these freebies because they will change your business and the way you interact on Facebook for the better. So Jordana, thank you so much for being on the Clarity Confessions. It's been such a pleasure, and I just wish you all the best, and I know you're up to such good things.
Thank you so much, and thanks again for having me.
You're welcome.
The Mindset Reset Challenge is back and starting on May 8th. And I want to personally invite you to join me for this soul nurturing week that always delivers amazing breakthroughs for everyone who moves through it. Each day during this 5-day experience, you'll receive a short audio from me and a loving action step to help you reset your mindset and embrace self-love and growth. Here's what just a few participants had to say about this totally free 5-day experience. Nolene said, "It's a fabulous, uplifting, positive start to your day, week, and ultimately the rest of your life." Another Clarity crew member said, "This challenge brought to the surface the inner wisdom that we can sometimes bury down." And Hannah said, "Mindset Reset is a week-long opportunity to dig deep, figure out what limitations you're creating for yourself, and immediately begin living a better life. Cailen helps you to recognize your innate potential, harness that power, and create the life, business, and mindset of your dreams." If that sounds good, together we are going to uncover your mindset blocks and work to remove them so that you too can move forward in life and business untethered by your limiting beliefs and ready to expand into your true and fullest potential. So if you want in on the Mindset Reset experience that has already helped hundreds and hundreds of women reset their mindsets for soulfully expansive success on their terms, head over to cailenascher.com/updates now and enter your name and email to be the first to know when it's time for our Mindset Reset.